Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where the season has started. We were all looking forward to this moment. Michael Beale's signings and his squad and his tactics and his vision underway, and it was the worst possible start we could have ever got. Losing your opening game of the season is just unforgivable, to be honest. Michael Beale has now mounted himself with a massive amount of pressure on his back. And it's very rare that Rangers managers go and turn that around after so many fans already are against them. After one game of the season, there's still plenty of way to go. Of course there is, but 3 points that we should have got on the board and looked like a contender for the title, and we're already behind Celtic, and Celtic don't seem to drop too many points, do they? So we've left ourselves again chasing after Celtic after one game. But we'll talk about whose fault it was. Was it the players? Was it the management team? What went wrong on Saturday? We'll talk about it. But if you'd like, subscribe and share. Very appreciated. But it's going to be a rant today. I didn't want it to be a rant really, but we went to Kelly. Obviously, the latest game, Celtic went and done their business in the afternoon. It was up to us. Obviously, that added bit of pressure is on you when that happens as well, regardless of if you look at your rivals' results or not. It's always going to be a bit of pressure on you. We went there. This is the team that started the game. Butland, Tavernier, Goldson. So I think it was kind of what we expected, to be honest, with the players that have played in pre-season and what Michael Beale's apparently trying to go for with this side. First off, for me, again, another away game where we start poor. We just didn't look like doing anything. It was just so passive and so boring to watch. Kilmarnock obviously had their support behind them, and they're obviously gunning for a big season. They had 9 players, new players starting for them as well, by the way. It's not a case of this team needs to gel and needs to... We've signed players for £5 million in Cyril Dessers, 4 on Sam Lammers. Obviously, Raskin's brung in, Seamer's brung in for Brighton. These players should be good enough to come into a side and be able to have gelled by now. We saw the warning signs in pre-season where what this team was kind of shaping up to look like. Obviously, we saw parts in the games that were decent, but I think the large part of pre-season was really, really disappointing. And a lot of people were kind of thinking, where does this team go? What is Michael Beale actually trying to do? And again, I'm left with the same question on Saturday. What is Michael Beale actually doing here?
You're good as guess as mine, mate. I've got no clue. I mean, I don't know where to start really, mate, to be fair, but it seems it just wasn't good enough at all, really. And you can either start with Bale or the players. For me, as you say, he's put so much pressure on himself already. We knew it was going to be a difficult away game. We were already aware of that, but we still thought we had the quality there. I mean, that squad there still to me should go out there and at least put 2 or 3 passes. You know what I mean?
That squad, should go out and actually create a chance against Kilmarnock.
I mean, I don't know where to hang me, mate. Do you know what I mean? Already, you're just it's hopeless already. You feel hopeless already. And I think I was the one in my head. I'm getting at the big one. I'm like, oh, we've signed all these players, and then I remember you still need to play games here, and it was just what a shocking. I just don't know where to start, mate. Really, honestly, I just either going with Michael Beale's logic and think that some of these players. I mean, Lundstram. I mean, what is he playing this boy for? You're on about obviously the amount of players Kilmarnock have signed there, right? My thing was, why did we paid all that money to sign Danilo? Boy should be on the park. You've just got Hangman for LA.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me they need time to gel in the squad and all this, part. Bro, just chuck them in at the deep end. Sink or swim. That's my personal opinion, do you know what I mean? I mean, on the actual game, I don't even know, mate. It just wasn't
we
good enough.
just didn't do anything. That's as simple as it can be.
I feel like
Obviously,
Kelly Murray and Oppenheimer here. I'm staring like, do you know what I mean? Because
helplessly looking at this side and thinking, what actually happened?
Ironically, one of the players that I thought had a fantastic game was a player we let go, and we let go to Kilmarnock. I thought that Lewis Hangme, I thought he had a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
He sell about, he get physical with the says, he got right in there and aggressive with him. I thought I thought Kilmarnock played obviously decent, but we were absolutely dug rid. And if this is what's to come for the season, I think a lot of us are checking out right now. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think if you You look to what our kind of strategy was in this game. It looked like, right, ping it to
Long
Goldson
ball.
or Suter and just try and play it over the top to Seema or Dessers. It's obviously we get in a couple of times, right? But that's why are we playing long ball football against Kilmarnock? Why is that happening? And then in terms of the setup and the shape of the team as well, far too congested in the middle of the park. Like, you look at all the kind of chances we got around the box. There's nobody in the wing to whip in the ball. It's all happening through the middle, and Kelly are just like, all right, fine, we'll just sit every player there, and they just won't be able to get through us. We have struggled under Steven Gerrard, under Gio, under now Michael Beale to break down a low block. To break down teams like this that are going to sit and defend for their lives, we've never been able to come up with an idea for it. Celtic, on the other hand, go and pump these teams 4-5-0. What do? They play with wingers. They overload the wings and they get their goals, and everything happens for that. We've got our team set up where Raskin really is the only guy who's in the middle of the park at points in this game. Lundstrom's having to go out and cover on the right-hand side because Tavernier's playing as a winger and a right-back. Kieran Dowell's obviously the guy who's box to box. Lundstrom, in his own part as well, just slows down the game unnecessarily for no reason at all. He's just so slow on the ball. When you think, right, we've got an opportunity here, Lundstrom, obviously, I don't believe it's his fault. Tavernier's fucking running across the pitch to take a throw in. Like, what is that?
This is what I'm on about. That's what
If
I'm
you
on
think
about.
back, you cast back your mind to Ryan Kent complaining about a free kick at Celtic Park last season. Celtic take the free kick, Jot is in goal within 10 seconds. That's all it takes. Apparently, duty heart in hand, when they actually talked to I don't believe in Michael Beale or somebody in the management team. Why they do this, why they take throw-ins, is because they wait for our players to get back into position. What is that? That lets Kilmarnock go back into position and defend. Catch them out. A team like that are going to be vulnerable at a throw-in. Don't let them get back into their shape. I just think that's honestly amateur, to be quite fair.
No, it is. That's what I was about to say. That's the most effort I've seen from my captain in that full entire game, was running, sprinting to take throw-ins. You're the Rangers captain, bro. Come on. And don't get me started on the interview after the game. We'll learn for this one. It's the same pattern for the last 8-9 seasons. Do you know what I mean, bro? Get a grip of yourself. Do you know what I mean? You're supposed to be the leader of this squad. Do you know what I mean? It's honestly, we all know who the leader is, because he get thrown in at the deep end. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't no, he needs time to come back for his injury, whatever. Goldson thrown in because we know how critical Connor Goldson is to
And I think that's also a testament to Goldson. I think he would have probably been asked, do you want to play today? And he's like, obviously I do. That is a guy who will die on the pitch for you, right? That is a guy who will be there.
100%. You don't need to question his character. But my thing is, why are we not throwing the Brazilian and the Ecuadorian in the deep end? I don't get it. Maybe I can understand
because it's Beale overthinking again. It's exactly the same as the semi-finals and the finals against Celtic and the big games that he's played in. He's overthinking, and it's cost us.
I understand there was no other thing but to play Barisic, right? Fine, fair enough. He didn't really, do you know what I mean? Aye. But to still consider John Lundstrom an option for us, bro, you're on thin ice, man. You're going to cost yourself your job. You really are. If you continue to pick Barisic, even when Yilmaz is fit, I know people are debating over the two of them. For me, Yilmaz is clear all day. I personally rate the boy. I know he was at fault for 2 goals in the pre-season.
Well, think about it this way. Yilmaz is what, 21 and Barisic is 31. You need to be playing the young guy.
Exactly, but I could think of how many times Barisic has hung with us, but they still I think they two are good enough to hang with. I take slack all the time. I'd take it. Seeing a game like that, I was just thinking to myself, bro, second half, throw Hadji on and all. You need to throw people on that are going to be creative, going to try and pick that way. Do you know what I mean? Just for myself there. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's it. I'm not even. It's the sub that he did make. It's the sub that he made when he made Ryan Jack. He brought Ryan Jack on for Lundstrom. What the fuck is the thinking process there? What are you trying to actually do? We're meant to be going for a game, and you're bringing on a centre midfielder that's a defensive-minded one for the exact same thing. Why not, as you say, give Hadji some minutes? We go forward and we try and create. Obviously, Hadji's played that role in pre-season pretty well. Give him a go in it. There's obviously Cifuentes there waiting, probably desperate to go on the pitch and make an impression for the fans. But it's the same guys that are making the same errors and the same. It's just a fucking joke now. The new guys that came in obviously played. Obviously, you need to give them time to breathe. Of course, you do. But as tactics go and stuff, they should have been able to play as a team by now. You've got Sam Lammers, who again has been a standout probably in pre-season, one of the better ones. He's floating about and he's just got no idea what he's doing. Kieran Dowell, obviously, he's trying to impress the fans by making hard tackles and stuff like that. I thought he was actually decent in the first half, to be quite honest, but I just think he's not a player I want to see starting for us all the time. He's had an option 100%, but
Well,
Cyril Dessers up front. Why buy a striker that wants? Yeah. Obviously the chances are totally down to him. Why is he?
You've got to at least get that on target, at least for me. Do you know what I mean?
He should be taking the shot at least with that one. Obviously had another one that stung the goalkeeper's gloves. But as a whole, why we signing number 9 that apparently fits Michael Beale's system down to a T? He was desperate to get him here. We paid the money, and we're playing long balls. We're playing long balls to him. We're not. When did he once have the ball at his feet? When did he once have the opportunity to go and do something? Abdullah Sima is a right winger playing out in left striker. Why? Like, why? He's a right winger. That's why these players get ruined at the club, because they're just fucking getting. Michael Beale's problem is he's buying too many players that are trying too hard to play in a system that's so narrow. Abdullah Sima is a guy who's going to flourish off the right hand side. He's driving at people. He's going to be the only winger we probably have, to be quite honest with you, as it's going. But I feel for that guy as well, because he was.
Oh, he tried his heart, bro.
He tried, but it's just like he's not playing in the right place. Like, I just don't understand what Michael Beale's trying to do with this team. And obviously his press conference after the game, he needs badly to be media trained. It's the stuff that comes out of his mouth is a joke. It was bad, but not all it was bad, and we need to look forward to the next game and all that. Like, he said he was ready for this game, and we couldn't be more off the fucking pace, to be quite honest with you. It was an absolute joke how we turned up and played here, especially for the travelling fans who are excited to go and see a new team play. We wanted this energy. We wanted players to come in and energise a team, get something to look forward to again. See, thinking about that draw that they made today, the last time I was actually happy as a Rangers fan when we beat PSV last year. What has happened since then? We've just been a disaster, and it's obviously continued here. And I hope it doesn't continue long. Obviously, the long season to go. Probably best that we get a wake-up call straight away. But I struggle to get up for the game on Wednesday now. We're supposed to be looking forward to qualifying for the Champions League. My thoughts are, who can be asked?
Who can be asked, exactly. No, but just to, as I say, Bill said, this is my 2 points for Bill, as I say. He kept what did they keep reiterating? He kept saying, I need the summer with the players and I need my players. You've got your players you've had the summer. Wasn't impressed in the summer. Thought it was quite poor in the summer, actually, mate. And you've got your players here. So there's no excuses now. There's no excuses. The board have backed you more than they've backed MD. So you need to turn around and deliver. Yet, I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't know what we're playing. I don't know what we're doing.
It's fucking mental.
I'm clueless. I've got no idea what we're doing. It's the most shittest football I've ever seen in my life. I was expecting high energy. I was expecting something to get excited about. As you say, the travelling fans going expecting, like, this is the start of it. We're going to kick on here. Nah, mate. It's the same old Rangers. That's what it is. It's the same old story. And as you say, Wednesday, you struggle to get up for it because you just know. You know they're probably just going to, as you said, do the same as what Kilmarnock did and probably just sit in, and we're just going to struggle to break them down. But aye, mate, I'm clueless. I'm clueless like Michael Beale. I'm clueless.
Aye. I genuinely, Michael Beale, I put the tweet up obviously last night on our Twitter. Is Michael Beale under pressure? Has the opinions changed? Do you still think he's the man to lead us to success? I think it had nearly 100 comments on it, and you would be lucky if at most 5 of them are actually backing Michael Beale still. It's just so wild how quick things can turn for somebody. And if Michael Beale doesn't get a result and a performance on Wednesday, I genuinely, how hard is it to get the support back on side after that?
No, you won't, especially Champions League, do you know what I mean? And that kind of money, obviously. I think the majority is I just don't think we're good enough at all, really, to be honest, but to be in the Champions League anyway, do you know what I mean? But a point I also wanted to make as well, mate, is obviously asking, the game of the weekend, for me, a point I was thinking to myself is how crucial he is going to be for us in terms of when he plays well. I think it's going to obviously change, dictate how the game goes, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when he doesn't play well, you can just tell that it affects. It's just something I noticed, do you know what I mean? But Aye, mate, I don't know, man. I'm just already the same as every other cunt, man. You're just, what's the point? Especially with that fraud as a captain, I'm sorry. I mean,
Because then, see, the problem is as well, when you go 1-0 down here, we're never getting back into the game. But it's just, how are you sitting with half an hour on the clock and
I
there's
just
like,
kind of go by the fact that, oh, we want the players to get back into position, bro. What are you talking about? Just throw the fucking ball into the park and let's go. What are we
nah,
doing?
it's just that is something, again, I think I'm really anticipating this press conference tomorrow that will preview, obviously, the Servette game.
For the
He's
plays.
going to be asked the big questions now. Michael Beale's kind of had a.
But I want honestly, mate. I want somebody in a summer like us in there. I want to challenge him because what I've seen is not being good enough, mate. Not at all. Do you know what I mean? I get players need time or what have you, Patter, but it's just not been good enough at all, man.
Nah, I just personally, with the style he's going with, he's just not working. He has to change his tactics or he'll lose his job. It's as simple as that. We can't keep going like the way we are. Obviously, it's one game. People might think this is a massive overreaction, but it's not. We've lost the first game of the league season.
No, when you're in this league, mate, it's
Nah,
this league. This league is different to any league in the world. You lose one game here, you know what I mean. You're chasing already, and we already know in our minds it's up to us because no other team's really going to.
no, of
It's
course,
you know what I mean. Hearts might give him a game once in a while. You might get Livy will give him a game, but realistically, we know it's up to us, and that's why we have to win every single game. A point I seen as well, on Twitter was all going on about how Beale signed all these sort of forwards and what have you, but when Walter came in and stuff, he signed two solid centre halves, and really
To
the
be fair,
fact he
Gerrard did it as well. Gerrard went and bought Goldson, and
and that's what I'm. But I really wish we got that boy for Arsenal. That one there to me just made all the sense in the world. Him and Connor Goldson, that looked like it could have been a solid partnership. Suited as well, a guy who, I mean, has been so impressive for me personally in pre-season. Same with Lammers, they've been the two highlights for me. But he could have really added to this defence as well. But instead, we obviously get Balogun on a free. Not against Balogun, love the boy, but come on.
I don't think the me as a fan definitely won't be happy if we don't go and spend money in a centre half. Ben Davies isn't the Champions League squad. Michael Beale just fucking lies all the time through his teeth. Ben Davies isn't fucking ill or injured. I bet he's negotiating an exit out of the club. That'll be happening probably in the background. He won't be a Rangers player for me. I don't believe when this window shuts. We need to get our centre half in. We need to go and spend the same amount of money that we did on Ben Davies on one, and he needs to suit exactly what we're kind of trying to do here. As you say, Austin Trusty would have been perfect. A young US men's national team player that's got experience with Arsenal and stuff coming in, and he would have been strong for us. Now it's unattainable. He's going to go to Sheffield. God knows how well he'll do in the Premier League, and then you're talking millions after that. We need to get the defence sorted out 100%. You're looking at the back four. Suter obviously was at fault for the goal. Barisic again, it's down that left hand side, didn't it? Goldson, and obviously there's been a lot of talking Tavernier. Personally, for me, the way I look at Tavernier is I'm not happy with his comments that he keeps making all the time. I'm not happy with his energy, the way he speaks, being the captain of the club after the result of that. Obviously, you're down, and I'm not expecting him to be ecstatic with how it is, but I'm like, how do these players listen to him and his droney tone and think, I'm buzzing to play for you, mate? Tavernier's going to get a lot of criticism now if this continues because it's on his back as much as it is Michael Beale as well. And I'm not saying it's all his fault, Tavernier. It's not. He can't control everything that happens on the pitch, but I expect more.
For me, there's no one other to blame than Michael Beale. He got it wrong. He got the team wrong, completely and utterly, for me. But Tavernier again, just no good enough, man. Generally, it's not good enough, and it's easy to say, oh, I have these turning on him, and then this is when you know what I mean, people come out and go with, oh, look how many years and all this. I don't care. He's just no good enough.
Mm-hmm.
For me, he's no good enough. His mentality, his attitude. I said to you the other night, when I think about the Connor Goldson after the Hibs game, he came out and he said it how it was, and people had a problem with it, and then we all thought about it. We went, no, he was actually right to say that. That's a captain to me. Do you know what I mean? That's a guy that turns around and goes, listen, by the way, that wasn't acceptable. That was disgusting. Do you know what I mean? Tavernier, oh, we'll learn for this one. Well, how many times do you need to learn? How
It's
many
just
times
you could go
well,
around in circles with it. Honestly, he's
I'm
just
just looking forward to seeing Sterling playing. I want that boy in that team. I want to see I want to see what he's got to offer. Let me see something else than that.
well. There you go. If Michael Beale has big calls to save his job, he has to go and try and drop Tavernier.
Nah.
He has to try and make something happen in that defence. It's different because, as Dujon Sterling said in his first ever press conference for the club, which I loved, he's like, I obviously love attacking, but my first point is always defending. And we need a strong defender in the wing back area. So for me, 100% should be given an opportunity sooner rather than later, for me anyway. But this is one that's just, it was an absolute disaster. You couldn't have pictured anything worse happening for the first game of the season. And as you say, we're going into this game now on Wednesday thinking, last week we were like, oh, you'd prefer Servette or Genk. Servette obviously grind out, go to penalties. We play them. It's like, do we even do anything against them now? First competitive home game at Ibrox this season, obviously. And you're kind of going into it thinking, why am I even here? Like, why are we here? Like, what are we going to see? It's really depressing actually to think about that the season fucking started 2 days ago and this is a shite you've already got in your mind. But I guess you look at it kind of out with your own thoughts and be like, this is massive for Michael Beale to show the fans that he's capable in a big game. This is Michael Beale's first taste of Europe as a Rangers manager as well, so that's interesting. As you say, Servette will probably come sit back and take their limited chances as they get them. It's going to be a tough game to break them down, as seen with the game Saturday there. If we play the same way, it's going to be a nightmare. We need to show something here. The team I want to see play is that there. I want to see Danilo, Dessers play together. We need to have as much firepower in attack as possible. Obviously, if we're not going to be playing with wingers really or any width, the two of them, Lammers behind them, obviously Cantwell. I don't know why the fuck he was benched either when you actually think back to it as well. Again, I think that's just Beale's head overthinking. Why do we need two centre defensive midfielders playing against Kelly? Like,
when you know they're going to sit back, so you need creative players on the park. That's what I'm on about. Hadji and Cantwell playing him.
Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, for Michael Beale, it's probably too early to start Cifuentes, but throw him in. I'm desperate to see this guy fucking play for us. Play him. That's the midfield I want to see play 9 times out of 10. Obviously, you can have a Dow or a Hadji in there, a Ryan Jack, Lundstrom, if needed. But that's the 3 that for me should be the first ones on the team sheet for the middle of the park anyway. I don't think the defence will be much changed again. We've got fucking lack of options in the back there. But aye, what's your thoughts on the team?
No, I'm that's the team I'd play, bro. There's no for me. You throw these signings in the deep end for me, as I keep saying. You just throw them in. Do you know? As I say, didn't been banging. I couldn't believe when he said, "Oh, he needs time to gel and all this part." And I'm like, bro, he's been banging him in for Vital all pre-season. What are you going on about? But I definitely, for me, that's the team it is to play. Obviously, Barisic, you can't help that. But I definitely, mate.
Nah, we just need more in terms of fucking going forward. I expect at home to be playing a lot better, but it shouldn't take that. It should be anywhere we play, we should be playing our game. Michael Beale's trying to change it up too much for certain teams, and we should be going there and imposing our own identity on teams, not changing for whatever situation.
That's what I'm on about. This is for me. It's easy. They all know how to say the right stuff. Do you know what I mean? They go, wasn't good enough. We'll bounce back and all this part. I don't believe it until I see it. Do you know what I mean? This game here, there's a chance to go out there. I want a 3-4. You know what I mean? I want you to go and put a dominant performance on and show, nah, we're ready.
And get to that playoff with either PSV or Sturm Graz and show something that shows that you can actually go and beat a team like that.
But realistically, we all know what it is. It's a 1-0 performance, and then we go away and we get popped out of the Champions League. If we're all being honest with ourselves here, that's the way I'm feeling. This was, as I said to you, this was the team I kind of wanted to avoid. It just seems like a tricky tie. Do you know what I mean? At least with the Belgian mob, you know, they're maybe going to play a bit. But I don't know. I can just, as I say, can't see us going all the way through the Champions League. If we continue to, do you know what I mean, play the way we played at the weekend there, that's just
It's just
no for
these
me.
players just need exposure to what European football is like at Rangers as well. Because obviously, what was that, November time? Really was the last Champions League game for a lot of these
I
players.
forget about it. I forget about it.
And they'll obviously be hurting for that as well. The players that were here, but you've got players in that team that, like Cantwell's never even played European football before. And it'll be interesting to see how he does it. But again, I'm expecting a lot more for him. But he should be starting games. There's no question he should be on the bench. If he's fit, he plays, and we need to keep playing our best players. So I'm looking for some change, obviously, in the lineup as much as we can do it. Danilo, Cifuentes, for me, are the two most exciting signings that we've made. Play them in your big game. I want to see how they do. Dessers, 100%. I'm still holding out for Dessers. I just feel it was a bad day at the office for him, and him getting no service as well. I just don't feel like I don't want it to be another Cholak situation under Michael Beale where we just don't fucking play in any strength to any player. But aye, there's plenty to improve on. And I hope it comes in Wednesday.
You'd pray it comes on Wednesday. As I say, man, you come on here and you're looking to be positive. You're looking to sit here and say, right, let's kick on in the right way. As I say, it's not how you. I don't know, mate. It's disgusting, as I say, man. Disastrous start of the season, as you say. But hopefully we bounce back. As Michael Beale and the boys would say, we'll learn for this one. We'll put the last game in the rear end. And we'll give everything to make sure we go through in the Champions League. If not,
pretty much
we'll
the exact thing he would say.
We'll learn for that and we'll go ahead in Europa League. I'll be honest with you, don't back him in Europe. I don't think we'll do anything in Europe under Michael Beale. And it's, as I say, it's funny to see, obviously, the abuse Giovanni got. And you see more for Gio in terms of, his style of playing everything. But we'll go ahead. We'll see what happens on Wednesday and probably come back on here and going, 1-0 and we're out. Nah, I don't know, mate. I can't be asked, man.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think this game just needs to kind of roll around quick for you to get the weekend's result off your mind and see a team hopefully that will actually play football in action, because it's not a case of it might happen and needs to happen on Wednesday. Or Michael Beale's under serious pressure.
He's under pressure mate. He's under pressure for the start. He was under pressure when he took the job, man.
Mm-hmm. Nah, this isn't a job you come in and get afforded a lot of time, to be honest.
It's as I say, mate. It's the same for both. Do you know what I mean? You don't get enough time, mate. You have to kick it off straight away. You have to be on the winning side, man. I don't really know why we're still talking about this, mate. To be fair, it's just that everybody's the same, man.
No, it's the same. We could go around in circles, we say, but that's the episode.
This one, the players, they did well in certain parts. Fuck off, you cunt, honestly.
That's the thoughts of everybody at the moment, but hopefully it turns round for the benefit of us in our season. Obviously, it's early doors, so everyone can change, but let us know your thoughts on Michael Beale and the team in the comments. We'll hopefully be back with a more positive episode next week.